In June of 1940, fall of France. To avoid the defenses at the Maginot Line in France, Hitler attacked through the Netherlands and Belgium, swinging through the Maginot Line. The British and France raced to Belgium to attack. The Allied forces were trapped, and the Germans were able to push back all forces to the English Channel. The only port not controlled by the Germans was Dunkirk, so a massive evacuation of all Allied forces was completed, called Operation Dynamo. More than 800 volunteer ships of all sizes, from Navy ships to sailboats, headed to Dunkirk. They planned to evacuate 35,000 troops to Great Britain, but saved 338,000 troops. This is known as the Dunkirk miracle. However, the Allies lost a lot of goods, including 90,000 rifles, 7,000 tons of ammo, and 120,000 vehicles. With the Allies gone and the last forces in France officially surrendered 3 weeks later on June 22nd, France had fallen. Hitler had the French sign the armistice in the same railway car that the Treaty of Versailles had been signed in. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. Winston Churchill, June 4th, 1940, following the evacuation of British and French armies from Dunkirk. This brings us to the summer and fall of 1940 and the Battle of Britain. Germany chose not to invade Great Britain, although plans were readied in Operation Sea Lion. Hitler expected a British surrender after France fell. Part of the reason why Germany did not invade Great Britain was that they did not have effective landing craft or transport ships. German forces would be vulnerable to the British Air Force. Thus, the Germans need to defeat the British Royal Air Force, the RAF. The Battle of Britain was an attempt to do just that through bombing raids. When an accidental bombing of London occurred, the British were enraged and bombed Berlin in retaliation. Hitler responded by attacking London and planned to terrorize them into surrender. This became known as the Blitz. Although the RAF were outnumbered, they had radar and outflew the Germans. Germans had the disadvantage of having to return home to refuel. The RAF caused more losses for the Germans than the losses for the RAF. Germany lost 1,700 planes to British 900. Rallied by Churchill's speeches, Great Britain did not surrender. Here you can see some of the images from the Battle of Britain. Here's some of those famous Spitfires like my grandpa flew. Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few. Winston Churchill, 1940, on the pilots of the RAF during the Battle of Britain and Blitz. This was the first time in the war that Germany had failed to reach an objective and kept Great Britain in the war. The only question was how to supply them.